What's up, guys? This is Trebus here, bringing you my first impressions of the very recently released Tribes Ascend by Hi-Rez Studios. Tribes Ascend is a free-to-play multiplayer first-person shooter, and while it is a first-person shooter, it breaks down so many of the things that kind of are conventions and staples of the first-person shooter genre. This game is not Call of Duty, it's not Halo or Counter-Strike or Quake 3. It is a completely new and very unique take on the first-person shooter franchise. This is obviously not the first Tribes game to release. It's the first one that I've played more than just a few minutes at a time, so you'll kind of get my perspective as a complete newbie on the Tribes franchise. At its core, Tribes is a team-based capture the flag game. There are other game modes other than capture the flag, but it was certainly designed with capture the flag in mind. Players play as one of 9 different classes, divided up kind of into their armor type. There's light, medium, and heavy armor, each of those playing a different role. Most of the gameplay footage, actually all the gameplay footage you're seeing of me is playing as the Pathfinder class, which is the primary flag runner and flag chaser class. So what you'll see me doing almost pretty much the entire game is either going for the enemy flag or trying to chase down someone that has our flag. One of the most unique parts of this game is the skiing and jetpack mechanic. Every class is equipped with skis and a jetpack, and basically how it works is you push spacebar to start skiing down a hill, and as you're going down a hill you gain momentum. On the left side you can see this bar that has how fast I'm going while I have my skis on. And as you're going downhill, you ski and you go faster, and then as you're going uphill, you could use your jetpack to kind of launch off the hill, or you can just fly straight into the air. And really, movement is the most unique part of this game, and something that I've never seen in any other game that has this kind of high, extremely fast and very quickly paced gameplay. You can see a good player will absolutely be just careening around the map, and the movement is very skillful. To be able to actually move fast requires a lot of skill. It's not easy at all. I've not been playing very long, so you're not going to see me doing any incredible stunts, but if you watch a seasoned player, they are just absolutely careening around the map the entire time, and there's a very high skill ceiling for that movement. So for me, a big part of the thrill of this game is just the movement, is moving around the map. It kind of reminds me of Quake 3 a little bit, in that in Quake 3 there was strafe jumping, and with strafe jumping you could actually just move around the map 2 to 3 times faster than someone that didn't know how to strafe jump. So it became this big skill gap between people that could move well and people that couldn't. And this game is very much the same. If you're in a game with someone who probably is playing the Pathfinder class and he's doing these routes along the map and capturing the flag at an extremely high speed, he'll have that flag snatched and he'll be on his way back to the base before really anyone can do anything about it. And it's really tough to deal with, but it's also, that's why I say that it has such a high skill ceiling. And the difference between someone that's good at that type of thing and someone that's bad at that type of thing is huge. Someone who's a professional level player, I will never ever be able to catch them. And I think that's one of the great things about this game, is that high gap in skill between different players. Luckily, the game does have a leveling mechanic where you're given a level based on basically the amount that you've played, and you are matched with similarly skilled players, so that's good for the skilled and unskilled players alike, although it does allow people to smurf if they want, especially since it's a free-to-play game. If someone wants to create a new count and start at level 1, then they could pretty much go into the low-level games and crush some faces. To make it a little easier to get into the game, luckily Hi-Rez Studios has included some training maps, at least to show you kind of how the skiing works and how the jetpack works, and then you can also roam around a map. If you want to try to find a good path for something, you can do that as well. The class system, you see I'm looking here at the customization for the Pathfinder class. There's all these unlocks that you can get, and you spend either experience points or gold on them. The way that the company makes their money is through selling gold, and the gold can be used to unlock items. As of right now, I believe everything non-cosmetic in the game can be got through experience, so there's no specific advantage that someone can get if they have bought gold. However, some of these things are actually really, really expensive and are going to take you a long time to get them. So I feel like there's a little bit of a pay to win aspect. If someone spends some money and gets some gold, they're going to have better items than you. And that's just the way it is. You know, I think at a certain point you just have to accept that that's going to happen in a game, especially a game that's free to play. You're able to play the game for free. That's a pretty awesome thing. So if you have to deal with certain people that are spending money, which is what the company wants, having better items than you, you know what? It's not such a bad trade-off. And if you want to justify, I had been thinking about buying some gold for this game because for several reasons. First of all, I think it's a great game. I actually am having so much fun playing this game. So I would buy gold to support the developers, as well as to get myself some items that I want. There's specifically an upgrade for the Pathfinder that I want to get that gives you this thrust, this boost that you can spend your energy and start going from 0 to really fast, quickly. And it's a very valuable upgrade to have. So I was thinking about spending a little gold to get that, as well as to support the developers. And I think it's totally worth it. I mean, I'm not going to be spending gold regularly on this. If anything, I'll do like a one-time purchase, justify it to myself as basically pretend I'm buying the game with that money, and then spend the gold on the couple items that I want, and then the rest I can just buy through my experience. There are 9 classes in the game, divided up into light, medium, and heavy, and you get one of each at the start of the game: Pathfinder, Soldier, and Juggernaut. I've mostly been playing Pathfinder, so I can't tell you a lot about Soldier or Juggernaut. However, the other classes, the other 6 classes, you're going to have to purchase through experience. So, you know, once again, they're kind of keeping certain parts of the game from you until you buy gold or until you play it a lot. But I think that's perfectly fair, honestly. Even with just having the 3 classes, you can get a lot of diversity of gameplay. So it's not like they're taking a huge amount of the game from you. The other classes have unique abilities and unique weapons, but you can certainly get a diverse amount of gameplay just from those 3 classes. In addition to items, you can get certain perks that give you little advantages, maybe reducing self-damage so that people will use concussive grenades to actually propel themselves forward, or lots of other little small perks, once again purchasable with gold or with in-game experience. Getting back to the gameplay a little bit here, it really is a completely unique gameplay experience. For one thing, the guns aren't like hit scan weapons where you aim and then you fire and the bullets travel instantly and then you try to get a headshot or anything like that. There's very little of that. There's a couple guns that are hit scan. There's a shotgun and a few other guns, but for the most part, your main weapons are kind of one-time fire and then reload kind of things. So you actually have to aim your shots very well, and there's a high risk to reward of making those shots. So a big part of the strategy is figuring out when people are going to hit the ground and lining up a shot that's going to hit the ground at the same time they are. It's very high skill, so when you're first playing the game, I can really see it being frustrating and discouraging to a lot of players just because it is so difficult. Just to be able to get kills in this game starts off being difficult. But along with that, the improving at this game is very, very rewarding. Check out this grenade kill. Not a grenade kill, but it does make him drop the flag. Types of shots like that you can pull off make you feel so awesome once you actually do that in a game. if you get some amazing like air shot or you nail someone with a grenade like that, it's such a rewarding feeling that it makes all the frustration totally worth it, and I find it to be very, very satisfying and an incredible amount of fun. Tribes likes to bill itself as, I think they call it like the fastest first-person shooter out there or something, and I think it does certainly live up to that name. I personally have never played a game where I'm actually moving as fast and still doing, you know, first-person shootery kind of stuff. So to call it the fastest first-person shooter, I'd say is pretty accurate. Especially, you know, you're just watching me play, watching a newbie play. I was watching a pro live stream earlier, and those guys, the way they can move around the map and the types of shots that they can line up, it's truly amazing to watch. The skill ceiling is just so unbelievably high. Getting back to the capture the flag aspects of the game, basically how it works is each team has a flag that's on a pedestal, and usually the flag is in a very open spot where it's not tucked off in a corner, it's in an open spot, so someone can build up a lot of momentum and then just zip by the flag and grab it and be on their way. So there's a lot of defense that has to be done to try to prevent that from happening. In the base, there's different things you can upgrade. In the top right, you can see I am building up credits. You get credits by getting kills and flag captures and returns and stuff like that. And with the credits, you can do a couple things. You can do like supply drops or tactical strikes where something comes out of the sky and, you know, kills everything. There's like sensor or radar towers that you can upgrade with credits to, I'm not sure what it does exactly. I think it makes it so that even players that aren't visible to you, you still get an icon on the map. And then there's also base turrets that are, it's an AI controlled turret, and it fires single shots that do a lot of damage. But they're all killable and they're all upgradable and all that stuff. Each base has, in addition to the base turret and the sensor tower and the flag, they also have a generator that powers all those extra things. The generator is usually hidden away, and it too can be upgraded. You can see it just got upgraded to level 2. And I think that upgrades the health of it and maybe something else. I'm not entirely sure, but once the generator is down, the base turrets won't work, the radar doesn't work, everything just stops working. Playing as Pathfinder, it's my job to basically be going after the flags constantly, either my own or theirs. And like you just saw a second ago, someone just got in and took their flag, so I was trying to escort them to bring them back to ours. You can only capture the flag if both flags are at one location. So oftentimes what happens is players will swap flags, and then someone will have to go and try to track down their flag carrier and take him out and return the flag. To return the flag, you just touch it and then it zooms back to the base. So like right now, we have their flag and they have ours, and so I'm trying to track down this person. Epic nade shot! That's one of those shots that makes you feel good, and then I can return the flag, and hopefully we can cap it pretty soon. Although their flag is on the ground, right? Or no, we do have their flag. Okay. So far, of the games I've played, most of them, the teams are really working together to get the flags, and so most people, you know, since you can see all the icons for everything through the mini-map, you can always see where the flag is. People are really working together a lot to complete the objectives, and so usually if someone like this guy gets the flag, there will be at least 3 or 4 or 5 of my teammates going after him along with me. And there are flags are just crossing each other. But these chase scenes are the most intense, one of the most intense things in a first-person shooter I've ever done. So much fun to be chasing down the flag. Honestly, I've barely tried doing anything other than capping and chasing down the flags, just because I find the movement to be so satisfying, and the chase of getting the flag or trying to return it is the biggest thrill I've found in the game. Soldier, the medium and heavy classes have a little different role that I couldn't tell you a whole lot about. There you see I just got killed by one of their base turrets. The soldier has starts off with an assault rifle and then a gun that's kind of like the spin fuser, which I'm using here, that it shoots one projectile. It's got a fall off and it does damage to in an area. And they also have an assault rifle that shoots. It's not a hit scan because the bullets do have a significant travel time, but it does do pretty good damage. Here you can see someone else took their flag, and I'm trying to escort them. Of course, they've got red team guys on the trail, so I'm trying to catch them, but it didn't quite work out that time. The jetpacking and skiing aspect of the game is certainly a big focus, and certainly where a lot of the skill relies on. You can see, if you look in the bottom left, the blue number that's at like 20, 30, 40, that's my energy amount, and that is used to actually do the jetpack. Skiing is free. Once again, you can see my speed is on the left side. Whenever I am skiing, then you can see my speed, and so you can tell how fast you're going. I know at the higher levels people like to use their concussive grenades or impact nitrons, I think they're called, to actually speed themselves up. So if they're trying to chase someone that already has a momentum advantage, it's hard to chase them if they already have a speed advantage on you. So using those concussives can be a nice way to do that. I think Epic Nade here is coming up again. No, not quite. With the jetpacking, because of the energy, you have to be very economical with your jetpack. Otherwise, maybe you'll hit a bad slope and then you'll lose a lot of momentum. You really have to be smart with using your jetpack because it does run out pretty quickly. You can't just be flying around everywhere. You pretty much want to be staying on the ground when you can, and then hitting those down slopes and only using your jetpack for the upslopes. Because sometimes you'll get caught with no energy, and maybe you're trying to chase someone with a flag or something, and because you don't have that energy, you just can't ever catch up to them. So it's another one of those big risk-reward things is, am I going to use my jetpack or not? That guy with a nice shot from the spin fuser right there. Spawn times are fast, so you don't really have to worry too much about sitting in your spawn. Just because the game is so fast-paced, it doesn't even matter if you're spawning really quickly, because the flag captures, even with a 3-second spawn, if someone has your flag and they're on their way out, even if you spawn 1 second from then, you're never going to catch them. So they did do a good job of keeping the spawn times nice and low, so you're not just sitting there for too long. I know, I don't know them, but I know the more experienced players know routes along the map to take to go capture the flag. They know, you know, start from this hill and go here and here. Awesome nade once again. I used to have a clan. Well, it wasn't really a clan, but we used to call ourselves the Awesome Naders whenever we would play in a either Quake or Counter-Strike match or something. So I prided myself on my nading abilities. There are vehicles in the game, so there's this like motorcycle-y thing that they each have kind of similar type of shooting capabilities as all the other guns in the game, where they do a burst and then they have this long cooldown before they can do anything else. There's also a tank in the game, and as well as a flying ship called a Shrike. One of my favorite parts of the game, of course, is the chase, and so this guy has our flag, and it is my mission to take him down. Grenades can be the best way to disarm him, but without grenades, you've got to land an epic shot like that one, and then go return the flag. So much fun. It really scratches an itch that has not been itched in a long time. You purchase these vehicles with credits, so instead of doing some kind of supply call down or a drop or something like that, you can get a ship, and the ship does have a very powerful weapon, but like all of them, it's kind of one one shot and then reload kind of thing. So if you aren't hitting your shots perfectly, you're pretty much either doing no damage or you're getting a kill. And that's just kind of how it works. As you can see, it's really a constant assault on the flag. People are capturing and returning the flags constantly. Their red guy just took our flag, and so that's when my turn is to jump in. I'm a Pathfinder, so I got to catch this guy. Nice little spin fuser shot there. Like I said, it's either hit or miss, and that was, once again, a rather beautiful shot and a nice return of the flag. Oh no, I didn't return the flag. That guy actually picked it up. And so the chase continues, and another beautiful kill. Are you kidding me? You get different power-ups. That one was a blue plate special. If you get someone in the air with your spin fuser, you get a little bonus. Anyway, so the assault on our flag continues. This time a non-Pathfinder. This is a, I think this guy's a heavy class. Or medium. He tries to get away with the flag, but he's just too slow and he's got too many people on his tail, so it becomes quite easy to chase him down. Really, the light classes are the only ones terribly capable of ever capturing the flag. That just happens to be the role I prefer. I'm out of my spin fuser ammo right now, so you see I'm using my shotgun. It's not a bad gun at all, but it's certainly very close range is the only place that's really useful here. Here you'll see me using the wrong ability. I thought I was using a supply call down, but I accidentally used a tactical strike. This one's the supply drop, and you just kind of paint your target, and then something comes in from the sky. And there's a little inventory station. I can refill my grenades there. I get more ammo from my spin fuser, all of that, and yeah, it's really nice. So chasing the flag once again. In higher leagues levels of play, it's good to just leave the flag wherever it is. If it falls close to the flag stand, rather than return it, people prefer that you leave it where it is, because people know good routes when it's near the flag stand. They know how to get in there and get out. If it's close to the flag stand, maybe touching a wall or something, there might not be a good route to go actually get it. Once again, you see me chasing down someone with the flag. They have our flag, so my job is to go find it. I'm going really slow right now, though, so I definitely need to build up some speed. Trying to get a prayer of a grenade right there, but it's certainly not going to work. The shots are so hard to actually line up. You really do have to wait until they're on the ground to actually get that. And another little flag return. The way the base turrets work, which you'll about to see me killed by just then, is they track you and then they predict where you're going to be if you continue moving in a straight line. So they're a good level of intelligent. It doesn't feel like they have this AI, cheating basically, where they're aim botting and going to hit you every time, but they do a nice job of predicting where you're going to be if you're flying in a straight line. So it does encourage you to kind of make your movement unpredictable, which is a good thing to do versus humans as well as versus any kind of bot. The movement in a unpredictable pattern is very important, just because the entirety of using like a spin fuser or a weapon like this is figuring out when someone's going to hit the ground, and then maybe seeing if they're approaching some kind of slope or something. They're going for that slope, and then you can lay something down. Oh, I missed with that grenade. That would have been the perfect grenade. Hopefully I can still catch this guy. He does go down. And you get the return of the flag once again. And there you have it. That's the match victory. That was an entire match. All matches are played to 5 captures. And at the end here, you're given your badges and you're given experience. It gives you some statistics on the right side of just kind of how fast you've gone, or just, various things. And you level up. Right now I'm level 6. Second on my team for that round. Not bad for a complete newbie like me. So that's it. That's my thoughts and impressions on Tribes Ascend. I've been having so much fun, way more fun than I even thought I was going to have. So if you want to play the game, please sign up on the link in the description. That's actually an affiliate link. So if people sign up under that, then it gets me like gold and stuff, and it doesn't change anything for you. So go ahead and do that, and that'll help me out. Also, if you want to play with me, add me. My name is Trebus, and we'll play some games together. I think this is going to be a game that I'm playing for quite a while, or at least until Diablo 3 comes out. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Please like this video and subscribe and favorite and all those good things. Thanks for watching. GG!